Welcome to another episode of the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards. This is the show where we celebrate the fiercest women in rock and metal, the voices, the vision, and the power behind the music. Today's guest, originally from Northern California and now based in New York City, and the New Jersey band Beautifully Deranged. Her name is Hayley, and welcome to the Metal Queens podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So you moved from a small town in Northern California to New York City at the age of 21. What was going through your mind when you made that big leap?
Um, I don't know. I remember being terrified and not knowing whether it was the right decision or not. Like that's a big move, obviously. And I only knew one person when I moved to New York, and I didn't have a job lined up or anything. So it was very scary, going from like such a small town to like New York. Um, Very overwhelming. Um I did come to pursue music. It took a while because no one told me like, hey, it also is going to take you some time to like grow up and become an adult and get your life together before doing all that and balancing all that. So I did have some like projects that just kind of fell out when I moved here before it even came to fruition. So, and then it was COVID, and before that, I broke my wrist, and then the juggling of trying to uh, have and keep band members. So it was a lot, but I am glad that I finally have what I have going with Beautifully Deranged. I'm really proud of what we're doing.
Did music always feel like your destiny?
Yeah, because it was the only thing I was like good at,
Mhm.
and it was the only thing I wanted to do. Like, I was so passionate about that, and it was my only thing. Um, I learned like every time I would learn an instrument, I would just want to learn another one. Like, so all of my hobbies just like stayed music related. I didn't want to break out of that. I was like, I just want to learn everything that I can musically. But yeah, that's always been my main thing. Like, I never had like a dream for any other kind of passion or career. I was like, it doesn't really matter what I'm doing for my day job. As long as I'm doing this, then like that's what I want to do.
I'm going to ask the musical influence question now. Was there an artist that you were listening to at a young age, an artist or two, or a concert experience that made you want to pursue this?
Um, there's one specific thing that just popped into my head instantly, regarding that. Uh, like I've had many musical influences that have inspired me growing up, but there was definitely one moment at I think I was like 19 years old. I was at a Veruca Salt show in
Mm.
San Francisco. And I remember at one moment I was just watching them on stage and I was like, oh, I want to be like a woman in rock. That was just kind of when it kind of clicked. And that's when I started trying to do more than just like the acoustic stuff and um, really amped up my songwriting and but yeah, that was like the defining moment. And there's been more moments like that too. But that was a very vivid one for me.
What was the first time you stepped on a stage like, and do you still remember the nerves or excitement from that moment?
Oh yeah. So back home in California, I did open up for a lot of local bands. Um, I would do acoustic sets, doing like some covers and some originals. And I like that would be kind of nerve-wracking, but it was more nerve-wracking when I actually formed a band out there and like really wanted to go the rock route. And it was like very scary because it was like I've only gone up on stage with an acoustic guitar or something, and but I was very excited about what I was going to be doing with like that band. And so the first time that we played a show out there, the thing that I told myself right before I got on stage to calm my nerves was like, I'm a huge fan of Hailstorm, and like
Mm.
Lizzie is one of my idols. So, and I actually uh, saw her recently, and I told her this moment. Um, I told her right before I got on stage, the way I calmed my nerves was like, just be Lizzie on there, be
Mm.
Lizzie on that stage, and uh, yeah, it really helped just kind of fuel that confidence that I didn't really carry before. It definitely was a cool moment.
Yeah, we love Lizzie. What do you think of the new album?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's
She's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I told her this too when I saw her that like it's a great album because it's fresh. It has a new vibe to it. Like
Hmm.
it sounds like that old school like gritty like 80s album. Like you hear the Ozzy and all of those influences in that album, and it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's in a couple of the tracks. It's like you're sitting at a lounge, a smoky lounge, watching her sing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Beautifully Deranged. I'm always fascinated by band names. Sometimes it's like, oh, we just thought of it. It came up, these two words, 5 minutes, and then that was it. And sometimes it's a deeper story behind it. This is such a powerful band name. What is the story behind it?
Well, thank you. This one was one that took a while to come up with. We were brainstorming back and forth, and nothing was really hitting with all of us. And I'm actually the one that threw out the name Beautifully Deranged because um, the style that I try to go for when I put my hand in the songwriting for the band is I'm very drawn towards trying to write songs that have um, like a heaviness that like transform into a uprising, like beautiful melodic sound to it. So it was kind of resembles like uh, the sound that we're trying to go for with doing like the metalcore of like the balance of the heavy and the contrast.
How did this band first come together? How did you meet these guys?
Um, so my I met the drummer Mike first through my ex, and we just got together and started jamming, and he was really into the idea of like what I was trying to do. And then he also had our guitarist and him, and I think our both of our guitarists, they had another project going on that kind of fell apart. So we all just kind of started doing it together. Um, we did have a bass player for a hot second, and then and then he dropped. So,
Mm.
but yeah, that's how we all met.
If someone walked up to you on the street and you told him you were in a band. How would you describe, you mentioned metalcore before, how would you describe the sound of Beautifully Deranged?
Um, I guess like I would go off like similar sounds of other metal bands and interests. Like we kind of tell people like there's a lot of heavy spirit box influence. Um, a lot of my bandmates are into Avenged Sevenfold and such. So those kinds of influences, but we also just kind of, and I'm very modest about it, but my my guys will say like, oh yeah, you know, like we really focus on the powerful vocals and like the cleans and the growls and stuff, but yeah, like our songs like kind of vary somewhat in like what we currently have out. And you can kind of hear it. Guide You Home, I wrote that song before I even met these guys, and they just kind of amped it up a little, but um, that was my baby. And then we kind of all take turns like with the songwriting. It's just, you know, whoever has an idea and throws it out there. There's been times where like they write both the instrumental and the lyrics, or they'll shoot me an instrumental and I'll sit down and write my own stuff to it. So there's a lot of different sounds that come out of it through like the various approaches we take with our songwriting. But um, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. When you write lyrics, where do the ideas usually come from? Personal experiences, observations, emotions?
Um, Mostly personal experiences. Um, yeah, and yeah, I feel like for the past almost decade, like I've hit a wall with writing lyrics sometimes. Um, because like and I mentioned this in a podcast I just recently did too. Um, I heard one of my favorite quotes is something from Fiona Apple that she did in an interview, was like, well, if I'm happy and enjoying my life, why would I stop to go write about it? Like, that's why a lot of the best lyrics and songs come from pain.
And when you're miserable.
Yeah, it's not easy to write when you're
Yeah.
happy.
Are your songs more like therapy, storytelling, or rebellion
Ooh,
when you are not happy?
storytelling for sure.
Mm.
I always like, I don't try to make like my lyrics super um poetic, so to speak. It's kind of more just like straightforward, like this is how I'm feeling. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't say therapy exactly, because normally therapy makes you feel better. But like
Yeah.
when I've never related to the aspect of like songwriting is therapeutic to me, because like afterwards it's not, I don't feel better. I'm like, oh shit, I wrote a really good song, but I still feel the same. And then what was the last one? Said therapy, songwriting, or
Storytelling or rebellion.
rebellion. There's definitely some rebellion in there.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, because I'm not a very, I don't, I'm not a confrontational person by any means. So like, I'll just kind of be like, oh, okay, and I'll take it. And then I just kind of say how I really feel
Hmm.
when and that's kind of the biggest, like the best feeling FU.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
How about living in New York City? You're in Brooklyn. Has that influenced your lyrical themes or sound at all?
Ooh,
Coming from that smaller town in California?
I I think maybe lyrical because obviously like I'm having much different experiences here than I would be back home. Um, yeah, because like we just discussed, the best songs come from pain, and um, there's no place like New York, but there's no place that'll knock you down harder than New
Yeah.
York either. So, yeah, I'd say lyrically, it's affected my writing.
When you're not making music, what are some of the things you love doing in the big city?
Ooh. Um, yeah, I am not a homebody by any means. So on my days off or after work, I like being out and about. Um, because there's so much here to experience. I love good food, good cocktails, but also just like going to a coffee shop in the mornings and just doing whatever. Just coffee shops are some of the best things in New York. Just there's not many things that feel better than just like sitting in a nice coffee shop and like having a peaceful morning. I don't as much anymore, but I used to walk endlessly. Like I would walk from Chinatown to Central Park, which is that's
Crazy.
hours
I
of
almost did that.
walking.
I think I almost walked that far once. Yes.
I
But you
used to
just
do it
want
like
to. You
all the
want to
time.
on a nice, beautiful day in the city, a beautiful night. You want to walk. I mean, and it is, to your point earlier, the city sucks you out, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like, the a lot of people here don't drive, so
Right.
having a nice long walk like that with your headphones in is kind of like the New York equivalent of driving with your windows down, blasting
Yeah.
music. So,
A long drive. It's the equivalent to it. Yeah. It really is.
yeah.
All right. So you guys have Beautifully Deranged, three singles out: Open Water, Guide You Home, and The Kill right now. So what is next musically for the rest of this year? Can we expect an EP, a full album?
Yeah, so we are just doing some finishing touches on our upcoming EP. We got done recording a few songs that are going to be in conjunction on the EP with the three singles we already have out. So we don't have a release date determined quite yet for that. But it should be very soon, like probably within the next couple months. Um, I think we're also going to record our first music video very soon. So, which will be, of course, a song that is going to be released on the EP.
Yeah, you can check
Um,
out their lyric videos now to the songs I mentioned. What about shows? And let me ask you this: is there a dream venue or festival you hope to play someday?
um, hmm. I mean, of course, everybody's goal is Madison Square Garden, but but to think a little smaller. Hmm. I mean, there's nothing specific. I just want to start playing shows. I'm
Yeah.
excited to do that and see what like that. how that energy in our songs is going to translate live on a stage. I think it's going to be really exciting to experience.
All right, she's Hayley from Beautifully Deranged. I was trying to think of the name of the festival. I was thinking Louder Than Life, Rocklahoma, Rockville, Incarceration, the one that wraps up the season. It's out by, you'd be going home to play it in October, the big rock fest out there.
Oh,
And I can't think
Aftershock.
of the name. Aftershock.
Aftershock.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
It always lands like the weekend of my birthday too.
Now, wouldn't
And
that
I'm
be
like,
perfect, Hayley?
yeah.
Going
I've
back
I've
home and yeah, on your birthday.
I've never been to a festival,
Mm.
which is crazy.
I
I
have a
wanna
feeling you guys will be playing a festival soon. So
I would love to.
you got to check them out. Be looking forward to that EP this year and follow them on social too, Beautifully Deranged, for some upcoming show announcements as well and the EP announcement. Hayley, thanks so much for joining me here on the Metal Queens podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome.
It was great to have you. Thank you for watching. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, and write a review. This is the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards, and I will talk to you again next time.